Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session. So before I begin, kindly let me know if I'm audible. You can use the chat option and you can drop me a message and let me know if I'm audible. You can use the chat option and send me a message. All right. So let's begin this session. As you can see on the screen, the topic that I'm going to take up today is how is it possible that a person can get 10 to 12 lakhs per annum pay packet at the end of MBA, even by pursuing an MBA program from a business school where the cutoff is around 80 percentile. This sounds incredible, but actually this is absolutely true. So let me explain to you how is it possible. In this session, I'm also going to give you an idea about which are the business schools where this can happen. All right. And also, basically, I'm going to give you an idea about what kind of performance is needed in CAT in order to get into those business schools. So without any further ado, let's get started with this. So to begin with, friends, let's quickly understand the meaning of this term percentile. So when you write examinations like, let's say, when you appear for an exam like, let's say, like CAT exam, for instance, or XAT exam, for instance, even SNAP exam, for instance, these exams, they will reveal your result in terms of percentile. So when we say percentile, what exactly does it mean? Now, many people, they misunderstand this term to be a percentage. So am I claiming that you should get 80% marks in order to get into a good business school where average pay will be 10 to 12 lakhs? Not really. That's not what we are saying as such. Ladies and gentlemen, percentile is a very interesting concept. So basically, percentile tells you how you have performed in comparison to others. I repeat, it tells you how did you perform with comparison to others. So in simple words, it basically means what percentage of test takers have you defeated. In other words, what percentage of test takers are below you. That is what is percentile. Let's take an example. For instance, in this session, I'm talking about people who secure around 80 percentile. So what is meaning of 80 percentile? See, 80 percentile basically means that you have defeated 80% of test takers. So imagine if 1 lakh people have written the exam, it means 80,000 of them, they are below you. What about remaining 20,000? Remaining 20,000 are above you as such. That is what is meaning of 80 percentile. So if you defeat 80% of test takers, we say you have secured 80 percentile. Now, remember, percentage is different, right? Percentage is basically how many marks you got, whereas percentile is how your marks they compare to other test takers' marks. So that is what is meaning of percentile. So when we say that you have secured 80 percentile, it means that you need to defeat 80% of the test takers. Now that we have understood the term percentile, let us also quickly understand how placements will happen in business schools. So placements, they play a very vital role because obviously after MBA, almost everyone, except for very few students, almost everyone after MBA would like to work in corporate world. So that's the reason the placements become a very important aspect when it comes to choosing a business school as such. And quite rightly so. Some people may be there who may have academic bent of mind, who may say, sir, I would like to proceed with a career as a teacher. I want to become a professor. But those kind of students are very rare and very few. Wide majority of people would love to work in corporate world after MBA program. So for them, campus placements becomes a very important aspect of doing an MBA program. Having said that, there may be few students who may have their own family business also, or who may have a very good idea for a startup, and they may say, I don't want to sit for placements. I want to pursue entrepreneurship. But once again, how many such students will be there in a batch? Very, very few. Wide majority of students After they finish their MBA program, they would love to work in corporate world in a good role with a good designation, good work profile, and obviously a very good pay packet. Now, let's understand how the placement process is carried out at business schools. So, there are two types of placements that will happen during an MBA program. The first one is called summer placements. Summer placements will happen in your second semester. So, companies will come to your campus to recruit interns for their companies, and this is called summer placements. So, if a student gets selected, they will become an intern, and the internship will happen during couple of months of summer. So the summer holidays between your first and second year of MBA, that is where you will work as an intern. And these students will work as an intern. They will be paid a stipend. They are not paid salary because they are not employees. They are interns. So they are paid stipend. But remember, stipend in top business schools is very, very attractive. Average stipend in top business schools would be anywhere between 1 to 3 lakhs. So your stipend will be very, very attractive. And the kind of companies that hire people through summer placements in top business schools, you will have representation from some of the best companies on the planet. So whether it is consulting firms, whether it is investment banks, whether it is FMCG companies, wide array of industries will come and recruit students as interns. So that is how summer placements basically takes place. And if you perform well during summer internships, some companies may offer you PPA also. They may give you pre-placement offer also. So that is how summer placements happen. And after summer placements are over, after you finish your internship, you are going to come back and you will pursue second year of MBA program. And when you are in second year, that's when again the placements will happen. This time final placements will take place. Now, here the companies will again come back, but this time they are coming back to give you jobs. So now they are not coming back for internships. Final placements, they are offering you full-time jobs. So final placements will be the most attractive aspect as far as a normal, typical MBA aspirant is concerned. The kind of final placement that you get at the end of the MBA will be the most attractive aspect of pursuing the MBA program. And in top business schools, typically, you will find 100% placements taking place. Even in business schools where you typically get in, which are, let's say, mid-run business schools also, you will easily find anywhere between 80 to 100% placements happening. So very good number of students get placed even in mid-run business schools. So final placements, they make a huge amount of difference to your career as such. Because remember, if your opening job, if your first job is at a very respectable pay packet, then subsequently the kind of hikes you get, the kind of growth you get, that will take you places. So final placements does matter big time. Okay, now, which are the business schools which you can get even if you secure 80, 85 percentile? Now, friends, 80, 85 percentile, people generally have this notion that you will not get good business schools, which is not true. In fact, a lot of people don't appear for CAT because they are scared that CAT is difficult. And they say, sir, I'm not capable of getting a 99 percentile. Sir, I'm not capable of getting 90 plus percentile. Sir, I'm a general category person. I don't have reservation. How can I get into a good college? But the reality is, even if you're a general category aspirant, even if you say if you can secure around 80 percentile, little more, little less than 80 percentile, still you can get into good colleges. You can get into colleges where average salary will be around 10 to 12 lakhs, and in some cases more than that also. Now, which are those business schools? Because it sounds incredible, but is it true? Let us quickly look at some of the names. Now, there is this extraordinary business school called IRMA, Institute of Rural Management, situated in Anand, Gujarat. Here, this college, they offer postgraduate diploma in rural management. So if you are having an interest in the course content, if you want to pursue MBA in rural management, then IRMA surely should be a dream destination for you. IRMA has a very rich lineage. They have an extraordinary legacy of so many decades. Now, this college has produced some of the stalwarts when it comes to agribusiness sector, or companies associated with food. You will find a lot of IRMA graduates in extraordinary positions. So IRMA Anand would be a very good option for anybody who would like to make a career in rural management. The cutoff in CAT typically is around 85 percentile. This is for general category. If you are from reserved categories, it will be much lower than this. So that is IRMA for you. What kind of placements will they have? I'm going to share with you after some time. Another very good option in that range of around 80 percentile will be Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Delhi. Again, a very good business school in our capital city. They offer very good education. And again, this is an old business school. It has a very good track record of so many decades. And surely this should be a dream destination for anybody who is targeting around 80-85 percentile. Definitely this should be considered. Another advantage with LBS-IM is, of course, the location. Remember, Mumbai and Delhi, these are arguably the top two destinations, top two locations to pursue an MBA program. Now, one doubt that some students generally ask us is, sir, does location really matter? And some people ask us, okay, then why do you say it matters, sir? See, if location is good, the advantage that you will have would be, number one, you will have good representation of corporate companies in that city. And because of that, getting projects, getting internship, and eventually getting a job will become much more easier. Other than that, friends, another advantage that you will have would be when it comes to getting good faculty members. Obviously, the good faculty members would like to live with their family in a bigger city. Again, there are exceptions. If it's an IIM or if it's an XLRI, they are willing to go and live in tier 2 cities also. But when we are not talking about absolute cream of the business schools, obviously faculty members themselves would love to stay in a bigger city. So a place like Delhi would be able to get better quality of professors much more conveniently, much more easily as such. So that is another advantage of studying in a place like LBSIN. Now, should location be considered while we are choosing colleges? See, my recommendation to you is consider location. If two business schools are absolutely equally good in all the other parameters, then yes, location can be a deal breaker, or it can be a tiebreaker, I should say. It will be a tiebreaker as such. Let's look at next business school. So next we have got Wellinkar, Mumbai. In fact, Wellinkar has got two campuses. Let's start with Wellinkar, Mumbai. So as far as Wellinkar, Mumbai is concerned, again, the locational advantage is there. It's situated in Mumbai city. And this is their flagship campus. They offer a lot of programs, but their flagship program is PGDM. They offer pretty good education and brand value. And of course, the location advantage is also there. Wellinkar has another campus in Bangalore, which is almost equally good. Mumbai has a slight edge because of the location, and that shows in the average pay also. But overall, both the campuses are good campuses. Then we have IFMR. Now, IFMR earlier was situated in Chennai, and a few years back, they shifted from Chennai, and now they are situated in Sri City. Sri City is present in Andhra Pradesh, and government of Andhra Pradesh few years back, they have accredited them and they have upgraded them as a university. So now IFMR is known as KREA University. It is situated in Sri City in Andhra Pradesh. Now, Sri City is very close to Chennai, actually. The distance is not a huge difference. It's a very short distance from Chennai. So again, locational advantage that way is still there with IFMR. And earlier, they were good for finance, but in the last few years, the college has made a lot of efforts, and it has showing their placements with regard to marketing and other specializations have also improved. And now we can definitely say IFMR is a now well-rounded business school, which can be considered by aspirants of all specializations. So IFMR is another option that we have in that range of percentile. Next, we have a sectoral business school, NIA, National Insurance Academy, Pune. This is a very good option if you are looking for a career in insurance sector. So if you're primarily looking for insurance sector, then definitely this business school can be considered, or should be considered as such. A few clarifications here. In this list, I'll probably say IRMA will have a cutoff of around 85 percentile, whereas LBSIM or is around 80 percentile, Wellinkar Mumbai is around 80 percentile, IFMR is around 80 percentile, whereas Wellinkar Bangalore and NIA Pune, remember Wellinkar Bangalore and NIA Pune, their cutoff is actually less than that. Yes, you heard me correct. It is actually less than that. The cutoff is around 75 percentile. So Wellinkar Bangalore and NIA Pune cutoff is around 75 percentile. So it's even more easier to get into these places. So I'm giving you a list of colleges where the cutoff is around 75 to 85 range. So I'm covering a broad range. The reason I'm doing that is I'm trying to drive home a point that getting into a good business school is not difficult. You need not get a 90 plus percentile in order to get a good business school. Many people who are afraid to write CAT because of this reason, you need not be afraid. Even if you end up with a 75, 80, 85 percentile, you will still land up in a respectable college with good placements. Now, what kind of placements? I've been using this term, good placements. Let us have a look at their 2025 placement figures. Now, why am I talking about 2025? Because 2026 just started off, and the final placements will happen in this business school or they are happening in these business schools, and the placement reports will be out very, very soon. So I am talking about 2025 placements in these business schools. So we are going to talk about what was the average salary in this business school, as well as what was the highest salary in this business school. People who are talented, people who are hardworking, people who are putting in a lot of efforts during an MBA program, both on the subject knowledge as well as their personality, as well as profile, they usually beat the average salary of a business school, and they will be getting a salary between average and highest. So if you are a sincere person, you can surely expect a pay packet which is between average and highest, just to give you an idea about it. All right, so let's have a look at their placements for 2025. So Irma Anand, their average salary this year, 2025, was 15.8 lakhs per annum. And the highest salary that was offered was 31.8 lakhs per annum. So brilliant placements happened in Irma. But only thing you have to bear in mind, while some of the students have got regular jobs, but a good number of students, they will get jobs which deal with rural sector as such because of the nature of the program. Next one is LBSIM Delhi, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management. Their average salary for 2025 was 12.25 lakhs per annum, whereas the highest salary that was offered was 20 lakhs per annum. So again, I want to reiterate, if you are a hardworking, sincere student who works on their subject knowledge as well as their personality, then you can actually expect somewhere in between these two numbers. Wellinkar Mumbai, the average salary for 2025 was 11.6 lakhs, whereas the highest salary offered on campus was 40 lakhs per annum. So they had good placements. Wellinkar Bangalore also had good placements, not as good as Mumbai, but still very respectable. 10 lakhs was their average salary, and the highest salary that was offered was 18.75 lakhs per annum. Now, if you look at IFMR, the average salary offered was more than 12 lakhs per annum. Finally, National Insurance Academy, average salary offered was 12.7 lakhs, whereas highest salary offered was 20 lakhs per annum. So as you can see on the screen, even though these colleges have a cutoff of around 80 percentile, little more and little less, but around 80 percentile is the cutoff. And in spite of that, look at the kind of salaries people have been getting. I'm sure you would agree with me. These are respectable figures. These are the kind of figures you will never be shy when it comes to sharing them with your friends and family members. So if you pursue your MBA from these colleges and you end up with these kind of pay packets, you'll proudly announce it to the world that yes, I've started working and I'm drawing 1 lakh rupees per month salary. So those are the kind of numbers that you get at these business school. That's the reason, my friend, do not think it is difficult. Do not hesitate to write CAT exam, because getting into a good college is not difficult for CAT. That's the reason we recommend you should dream and about cracking CAT exam. It's not difficult at all. Now you may say, come on, then it may be difficult in terms of marks, isn't it? This is a common question that people ask us. Fair enough. You are talking about 80, 85, but getting 80, 85 percentile in CAT, they say, sir, I believe that is also difficult. See, it's not really difficult if you think in terms of marks. All right, if you think in terms of marks, I will share that with you in a minute. Rohit, I have seen that you have sent me a question, but I'm going to answer your questions after a few minutes at the end of my session. Okay, so just remain with me. I'll answer all your questions. Now, is it difficult to score or secure 80 percentile in CAT? Now, before I answer this question, let us quickly understand the pattern of the exam and the marking scheme, because that will help you in understanding whether it is easy or difficult to secure 80 percentile in CAT. So, as far as last year's pattern of CAT is concerned, CAT has got 68 questions in it, and it's a 120 minutes exam. And remember, every section in CAT exam will have a sectional time limit. Sectional time limit is 40 minutes. That means you're not writing one exam. If you think about it, you are ending up writing 3 separate exams of 40 minutes each. So first section in CAT is verbal ability and reading comprehension. 24 questions appeared from here. Then data interpretation and logical reasoning, 22 questions appeared. And same 22 questions appeared from mathematics. They call it quantitative ability. So if you add it up, it becomes 68 questions. Now let's quickly understand the marking scheme of CAT. So every single question out of those 68, every question will fetch you 3 marks. So if you do it right, 3 marks are given. And if you do it wrong, 1 mark will be deducted when it comes to multiple choice questions. What are multiple choice questions? These are questions for which 4 options are given. So if you do it right, 3 marks are given. If you do it wrong, 1 mark will be deducted. Now, when it comes to non-multiple choice, options are not given. And if you do it right, 3 marks. But if you do it wrong, 0 marks are awarded. Negative marking will not be carried out for non-multiple choice questions. So broadly, this is the marking scheme that CAT will follow. Now, why did I talk about it? I wanted you to understand how many questions are there. I wanted you to know what is the marking scheme, so that when I explain to you how many marks are needed to get that 80-85 percentile, you will realize that is not difficult. Let's quickly answer this question. So if you look at last year's CAT exam, if you talk about CAT 25 exam, then in order to secure 85 percentile, you just needed anywhere between 40 to 45 marks. Now, what does it mean? See, 45 marks, remember every question fetches you 3 marks. So if you want 45 marks, it means you just need to do 15 questions correct. Okay, assuming no questions wrong. If you're committing some mistake, then it should go up. But remember, there are totally how many? There are 68 questions. So out of 68, even if you get 15 questions correct, we are getting 45 marks. Is it not? And on the other hand, even if you are getting 13, 14 correct, you are still getting up this kind of marks. So bottom line is, in the end, if somebody were to, let's say, attempt around 20 questions out of 68, and out of those 20 questions, let's say 17 of them, 16 to 17 of them turn out to be correct, and the remaining are wrong, still you will end up with the marks of around 45. Now think about it. Just you need to attempt just around 20 questions out of 68 with good accuracy, and thereby you will end up getting an 85 percentile in CAT. Now again, going by last year, what about 80 percentile? So as far as 80 percentile in CAT 25 was concerned, you just needed 33 to 39 marks. What does it mean? It means only 11 to 13 questions. If you do correct, you will end up with a 33 to 39 score, and that will be good enough to get an 80 percentile in CAT. Again, of course, here the assumption is no negative marks. If there are negative marks, obviously you need to take that into consideration. Somewhere around, let's say, if you attempt around 15 to 16 questions with good accuracy, then you will end up with these kind of marks very comfortably. So that's the reason, ladies and gentlemen, I was insisting that it's not difficult to get into these kind of colleges. Also remember, the colleges that I have mentioned in today's session, almost none of them have got sectional cutoffs. So even if you score very low in one of the sections, not a problem, as long as you do well in the other two, and because of that your overall turns out to be 80 percentile, or a little more or a little less, around 80 percentile, it is good enough for these business schools, as I have already mentioned to you. That's the reason, boys and girls, it's not difficult to study in a good college through CAT. So if you have got any friends, any family members who are a little hesitant because they are afraid that they will not be able to crack this exam, tell them this information. Tell them, do not be afraid, dream big, and definitely begin your preparation for CAT. All that is needed is a good, thorough preparation. Only thing that could stop them is, but if they don't prepare well. So if you anybody in your friend circle or family is planning for an MBA but is a little afraid because what they have heard about CAT, then please tell them this information, that securing 80-85 percentile, even 75 percentile in some cases, even if you're a general category person, you can still get into a respectable business school where average salary would be around 10 to 12 lakhs per annum. All right. So this is the information that I want to convey. Now let me take up your questions. So I can see some questions have already been shared with me. So let me answer them. The first question I see comes from Rohit. Rohit says, I have NMAT 205. Please suggest some good college. So Rohit, as far as 205 in NMAT is concerned, it's a decent performance. Unfortunately, you narrowly missed the cutoff for an MIMS, or else MIMS would have been an option that you could have considered. But right now, you can look at ITM Navi Mumbai. You can look at Vellore Institute of Technology, Vellore. You can also consider applying to ICFI Business School, right? So these are some options that you can definitely consider as such. Now, next question comes from Howling678. Sir, NMAT 222, IFMR Chennai convert हो सकता है क्या? मेरा इतना ही है score. There is a chance. There is a chance if you do very good job in interview, surely you will have a chance of conversion. What I recommend to you, my friend, is join Time GWPI program so that you get good practice. Because in IFMR, interview does play a very important role, like the way it is in most colleges. So prepare well for your interview for the second stage selection process. So join Time GWPI program and take mock interviews, attend mock essay, mock GD sessions, so that you get very good practice for your actual GD, essay, and interview that will happen as such. We have also launched artificial intelligence enabled mock interviews, right? We call it AMPI. So AMPI has been launched. In case you want, you can also take artificial intelligence enabled mock PI also. That will also help you in your preparation. The link to join, okay. Howling is asking me link for artificial intelligence enabled interview. So let me share the link with you. Just give me 1 second. So artificial intelligence based interview essentially will give you an excellent simulation of how the interviews will happen. So that will give you feedback also. At the end of the interview, it will provide you very good feedback. I've shared the link in the chat. You can click on that and you can register for artificial intelligence enabled interview also. But my recommendation to you, Howling, would be take this AI based interview. But apart from that, also register for Time GWPI program also. I'll share the link for that also with you, so that if you want, you can register and you can take complete benefit from the preparation at Time as such. So this is the link that we have for full-fledged GWPI program. Howling Soil is also a good institute. As you have said, you want to keep it as a backup. Yes, you can keep Soil Gurgaon also as a backup. Howling, the next question came from you about GDPI preparation course link. I've shared it in the chat. You can click there and you can join for the GWPI program. So Howling, IFMR is good college. Soil is also a decent college. You can definitely target them without any hesitation. Rohit, SDA Bukuni and SIBM Hyderabad, you're asking me to comment on those. Both are good colleges. SDA Bukuni is a pretty good option. Only thing is, if you don't get a very good scholarship, then the fee may be on the higher side. But otherwise, college is pretty good. SIBM Hyderabad, it's also a decent option. If you want to know exactly what categorization or what category do we put these colleges into, I recommend you also check out T.I.M.E school categorization list. I will share a link for that also with you, so that whenever you get free time, you can check out our T.I.M.E school grade that we assign to each of these business schools. So again, in the chat, I'm sharing one more link for you, because you have been asking me to comment on business schools and so on. So you can click on this link and you can go through the categorization done by T.I.M.E of various business schools. Okay, but both the colleges that you have mentioned are good colleges. All right. Anything else that you wanted to ask, friends? I ran out of questions. If you don't have any more questions, then I guess we have come to the end of this session. Thank you, everyone, for participating in this session, and I wish all of you all the very best. Howling says, please pray for me. Yes, I'll pray for you. I wish that you should get a lot of success. Looking forward to meeting you during the GWPI sessions. All the best. Take care.